Live from Studio 64, this is Unforced Errors, your one-stop shop for all your daily fantasy sports and sportsbook news. And now, please welcome your hosts, Kate Herman and Jerry McKenna.
Oh, welcome to Unforced Errors, the show that the pros watch. And by the pros, I mean nobody. I'm here, Kate Herman. This is my co-host, NASCAR Jerry.
I am NASCAR Jerry.
How you
today.
feeling?
Feel good. Feel like I could go watch a bunch of cars run around the track for like 500 years.
All right, let's get to it. How'd you do last week?
I did horrible last week.
You want to talk about it?
Oh my lineup sucked. Everything I did was wrong.
Who was your worst pick?
Ebron, who had 0 points,
Right.
hurt me. That was a big loser pick. And who else did I have that sucked? I had Deontay Johnson too, and he got hurt like in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So those two guys killed me.
Well done.
You can't have like a fantasy lineup when you have two zeros staring you in the face.
No, but you can have a winning one when you have a 5-0 standing.
Well, you had a good week.
I know.
Is that why you're asking me that question? So
Yeah.
you could talk about how good your week is? Why don't you tell us how good your week was then?
Of course.
Well, what was it? What did you do?
Well, I put Derrick Henry in all my lineups.
Okay, well, that helps.
Yeah. So then you start with 50. I had Williams, Mike
Start
Williams.
with 50. That
I did put in Hasty, who, another one that's out. But yeah, and Gronk has just been
I told you Gronk. I'm a Gronk fan.
So,
Picked him up last round of my draft.
yeah, I was happy.
Not this week, though. No Gronk this week.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
I
right.
disagree. And then, yeah, I want to talk about Thursday.
Thursday might have been one of the, well, wait, first let me.
Oh, yeah, you're sorry.
First about Sunday. Let me explain. So I was at the Pearl Jam concert Saturday out in Jersey. So I did these lineups like on the fly at a bar with my friend. So we didn't do a lot of research. We just kind of
How was the Pearl Jam concert?
wasn't that good. Who wants to see Pearl Jam and the first 5 songs are from like their new album? Who the hell knows what new album? Who
Was
know any
it
of these
more of a
songs?
concert, or did Eddie Vedder do a town hall?
He did a little town hall stuff too. He kept talking, jibber jabbering. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like a great show. But it was whatever. It's on a beach. It was in Jersey. It was fun.
All right. So
I did my lineups from the bar because I knew I wouldn't wake up in time Sunday morning to do it. So it just goes to show you, if you don't put the time in, it doesn't work. Yeah, it was not good.
you need dedication.
I know.
How'd your bailout bets do?
Well, my first week, my bailout bets, 2 for 3. And if the Lions would have won that game, 35-1, and they were right there, and they screwed up.
So I want to remind you, Jerry, whenever you're ready later on in studio, we've got the segment planned to Jerry's get out of jail free card, right? So that's your bailout bet.
Lined up right now.
You let me know when you want to do that segment, because I know there's a lot of people at home holding their breath.
Listen, if you took my parlay and you took it 3 and 2 or 3, you would have made money. That's it. 2 Steelers, it was good. Raiders, both money lines hit, and the Lions. Who would think the Lions would disappoint you? What are the odds?
All right, Thursday night.
Thursday night, I was horrible again. I did not have a good Thursday night lineup. I want to say, first of all, the game sucked.
Yeah.
And McCaffrey's a little bitch. He was in the first quarter. I don't even know what he did. He was like he was just running and got injured.
That's like Tyrod Taylor.
Poor Tyrod Taylor. I feel bad. I feel like we almost jinxed him by predicting that in the beginning.
No, I mean, it's a third season. He's launched more quarterback careers than touchdowns.
No one even hit him. He was literally just running around, rolling out, and he's out of the game, out for the season.
He's not necessarily out for the season, but Mills is.
No, but that's it. He's not going to play anymore. Mills. They must really dislike Deshaun Watson if they're not even going to let him play.
They've already decided he's out for the season.
Horrible.
It is.
Houston, what are you going to do? That's why they suck.
Anthony Miller looked good.
Oh, come on. They were horrible. They looked horrible. They made Carolina look good. That game was also.
Sam Darnold look good.
That's the thing. That's the problem with Thursday Night Football, is they abuse the football watcher mentality. They'll put any two shit-ass teams on. Everybody's going to watch the game, and they know that. So they always try and get some shit game out of the way, and that's what we got. That's what we got. That game sucked.
Darnold did rush 2 touchdowns.
Darnold. Sam, Joe Montana, Darnold. Fucking Jets get rid of somebody. He's 3-0. He's like, looks unbelievable. It's so crazy that this happens every year with the Jets. They just can't do anything right. They can't do anything right. He's literally it's like a new man. It's like a born again Christian. He went there and all of a sudden he's like the great, looking great, throwing the ball. It's Sam Darnold, 3-0. Fucking Jets, and they got some loser Mormon who sucks. This guy sucks. I feel bad for the Jet fans. Like they already know that it's over. Like 2 games into the season, they're like, "Fuck, we made the worst pick we could ever make." And he's horrible, and the whole team sucks. And I gotta watch that shit on Sunday. No way.
Sick.
Anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I was happy last week.
You had a good week. You were showing off your shit. I saw it. You look good. You had a good week.
Yeah. Well, I went to bed on Saturday night.
You bragging?
All right. How do you want to do this? You want to go through some games, or you want to get to positions, or what do you want to do?
I got a lot more to get off my chest.
All right. Well.
No, let's go through some stuff. Let's
All right. Let's start with the Chiefs Chargers. That seems to be the game that everybody's talking about.
From a game point of view, I gotta say, I like the Chiefs to lose the game.
Oh, whoa. So you want the Chargers?
Chargers are winning that game.
I feel like
I think the Chiefs are overrated.
from a fantasy standpoint, there's a lot of options. Eckler's going to be chalky, but he's back, and I think he's going to have a good game.
I think the Chiefs are overconfident.
I do too.
It's at that point in like every team's career. Like people have watched Mahomes film for like 2 or 3 years now, and they're starting to do shit that he doesn't understand, and they're getting their asses whipped. And I think the Chargers are going to kill him. He's a little too overconfident. Too many commercials, too much bullshit, and this is going to come back to haunt them right now.
I don't know. He's pretty good.
Oh, obviously he's good, but they're not.
What do you think about Edward?
They shouldn't be losing to be. They should be blowing people out, and every game is tight with them right now. So that means like something's going wrong.
I mean, yeah. They're a fast-paced, high-scoring team.
So you're saying Andy Reid's going to turn them into the Eagles?
Let's hope not.
Speaking of the Eagles. Well, he's not on the Eagles anymore. But Carl, we'll get into Wentz later.
No, why don't you just go ahead and say it?
I mean, how do you sprain 2 fucking ankles? And that's what it says, too. When they put them on the screen, it's like injury list. It's like ankles. He is the worst. That guy is the worst.
It's like watching a runway model at like fashion, like super high, just like wobble, wobble.
Sprains 2 ankles, and it's just so.
Oh, the Eagles. Wait, who's their backup again? Quarterback?
Brissett.
Oh yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
What do you think about Edwards Hilaire with the Chiefs? Do you think they figured out Mahomes' stuff? So
I don't think they figured him out. I think they're like.
There's a lot of people. Hilaire's all over the internet, which makes me a little annoyed.
Everybody's talking about how big of a week he's going to have.
Yeah. I hate when people do that.
I would go, if I'm picking anybody from the Chiefs this week, it's Kelsey. Because they got to get back to basics, and they're going to go, he's going to start throwing to the one guy that, like, you know, is going to catch the ball and, like, you know, do his thing.
You don't think Hill?
I think if you're game planning the Chiefs, you're gonna put 2 guys on Hill. He always has a good game. He's gonna have probably 100 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
But for the money that you're paying for him, is that really worth it? I don't
That's
think
why
so.
I would shift to like Chargers and taking like, you know, Herbert and like Williams or Guyton.
Guyton's not a bad pick.
And Keenan Allen, but like, you know, if you're trying to go deep. And then Eckler. Everybody's talking about Eckler too.
I had Eckler last week, and they didn't go to him as much, and kind of he didn't have a great fantasy game last week.
You know who people are talking about a lot?
Me?
No.
Oh, who?
Saquon Barkley.
Listen,
he's on like the top of every like fantasy model, whatever. I read somewhere somebody was like, it's better to be, first than right.
My problem with Barkley is simple. I think he's done.
Well, he could be a McCaffrey, but he also could be Barkley.
He doesn't look the same, and it's hard when you get your knee fucked up like that.
They're playing the Falcons. You don't really need to try that hard.
No, but something about Barkley. He looks like he's like not like a step slower, like 3 steps slower. He looks like
Yeah, but against the Falcons, it doesn't. You could be 4 steps slower and still.
Falcons are winning that game.
I don't know. Barkley's like on the top of all the models. I put him in a lineup,
Really?
but like, yeah, it's just like it freaks me out to not do it now.
I don't know. I just can't see taking Barkley. I can't see.
Yeah. All right.
I can't even see him getting like 20 carries. They're gonna be down the Giants, so they're gonna have to throw the ball.
Against the Eagles or against the Falcons?
Falcons, Matty Ice.
The Falcons haven't been good at all.
No, they suck. We all know they suck, but they still have a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. I mean, they're still a team that could put up 30 points. And can the Giants even compete with that? Can they get in a shootout with anybody? I don't think so.
I think Barkley, if I don't put him in, is going to get like 4 rushing touchdowns.
No way. I bet you he fumbles twice.
All right. Or he just gets injured in the first quarter.
Wow.
All right. Seahawks Vikings. This is my other targeted game.
It's a tough game. A lot of people are talking Metcalf like you have to take him because Minnesota.
Well, also because the Seahawks have like 6 people on their team.
Thing about this is this. If you're the Vikings right now, there's no way you can go 0-3. If you're 0-3, you're done. Your season's over. They have this, like, it's crazy to say must-win game, but they have to win this game to have a season.
I think it's a winnable game. They almost beat the Cardinals.
Which, were we watching that game together? I think we were, right?
I don't remember.
Worst coaching. I can't. They should have fired that coach after that game. You got a minute left, and you settle for a 40-something yard field goal on some dude's foot.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not run the ball, get another 8, 10 yards, whatever, something? That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and they deserved 0-2, and that's the Vikings because they're a loser franchise too. They're another team that never won a fucking Super Bowl, right?
So who would you take? Because you totally reversed course.
I did reverse course. They have to win, and I think it's going to be. That's why I like Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, but he's questionable right now.
I know, but like when you're in a game like this,
What about Madison?
no. You have to win this game. You have to give the ball to your best players. You have to put it in their hands, which is going to be Cook,
I mean, you're throwing a Jefferson or Thielen?
Thielen, and Cousins.
They have
It's on those 3 guys right now.
They have Osborne, too, who's like one of those sneaky, chalky wide receivers.
Osborne?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't you know
No, I didn't.
that they have? And they also have D.D. Westbrook, don't they? Remember him?
I do remember him. This game is going to come down to, like, do you have a season or not? If Minnesota loses this game, they might win 3 games this year. This is it. This is their season. They have to win. And Seattle, I don't know how Seattle keeps winning games. They have nobody on their team, and every game this guy goes out and throws like 4 touchdown passes.
Oh, yeah.
Got to give Russell Wilson a little credit for that.
Totally. And Carson.
Yes. But they somehow win.
They have 3 people. Or they have 4 people. They have Carson, Wilson, Lockett, and
Metcalf.
Then they have like Swain Homer. But like but that's it. That's like, one of them goes down.
Their team is a perfect example of if you have a good quarterback in the NFL, you almost guarantee like 7-8 wins. You're going to be 500. Like you're in every game if you have somebody like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
It shows. But I think they're losing this week.
All right. I think I'm still undecided on some of them. I need to go through. I want to talk about the Cardinals and Jaguars really quick, and then I'll do hot picks. Or no, and Buccaneers and Rams.
Well, which one first?
Let's do Bucs Rams.
Okay. So.
Stafford versus Brady.
I think this game's either going to be tight or the Bucs might win by 30 points.
I don't know. The Rams have really good cornerbacks.
So, like, our friend is talking, is giving the whole.
A little.
You use some chopsticks. You want some chopsticks to catch that?
Damn right I do.
Yeah, I got you.
You just looked crazy.
Just now you
that
looked
you?
crazy.
Was that you?
Not before.
Grabbing touchdowns out of the air.
Only now, wearing your President's Cup hat and waving at the air like a maniac.
I had a Ryder Cup app. I had it on right now. But there's the big East Coast going to West Coast. A lot of people saying that, like Bucks going to California.
It's
blah,
more
blah.
when it's West Coast coming east that it's
I'm
hard.
with you on that because you lose them time.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter anymore.
They just get 3 extra hours sleep. Also, the Bucks now look like
The Bucks look too good right now.
They're like it's like an army.
It looks like a video game almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Like
and
they
he throws
don't-
like this, and then he catches
Yeah.
like this, and then
And
you know, yeah.
everything they do happens. It's kind of scary right now.
Yeah. But but you're taking the Rams?
No, not in that game. But I'll tell you who I do like in that game.
Who?
Same guy I liked week 1 that got me 0 points.
OJ Howard.
Yeah.
Why?
I think my logic on this is this. Like he keeps throwing to Gronk like it's like you know, like when you're a little kid and you're on like a team and you keep throwing to your buddy.
Yeah.
They keep scoring. But you have to keep the other people in the game. So like I think a guy like OJ Howard right now, like Brady's
They have
smart enough to know
Godwin
like let
and
me
they have
feed this guy a couple of passes just to keep him his head in the game. And I think this is the week for OJ Howard. This is the week. Gets a couple more, maybe like 8 receptions, 70 yards, a touchdown. That's not bad. It's like 15 points.
I'm sticking with Gronk. They're trying to get. They're doing record stuff right now.
Well,
Like,
he's
why else would
100% cognizant of beating Manning's record right now. He wants to throw like over 50 touchdowns. There's no doubt about it. He knows he's not stupid. Brady
What's
knows
the
what he's doing.
record with something with tight ends?
What do you mean? The record
It's
of
like
what?
I don't know. There's a record for everything in the NFL.
Of course, but nobody cares about numbers in the NFL. Only baseball. Numbers don't matter in the NFL.
Well, yeah, but you know how they're always like he's the first tight end wearing red to catch. You know what I mean? Like they to catch 4
I would say
touchdowns
most of the records
over.
for tight ends, like Tony Gonzalez, Winslow, like people like that.
I'm just saying, is Gronk going for anything? Because like,
Oh,
why
I'm
else is he
sure
playing?
he's got some kind of like most touchdowns by a tight end. He might already have that wrapped up. I don't even think he might probably already has the most touchdowns by a tight end.
All right. Well, obviously, on the other side of it, you're taking Kelsey.
On the Chiefs, you're talking about?
Yeah.
They're not playing.
Oh yeah. What
Yeah,
were
what are
we
you
talking
talking
about? Sorry, I got
Talking about the Bucks.
and the Rams.
Yes.
Higbee.
So but I'm saying this is a game where if the Bucks come out there and kick the shit out of them, look out. They might go like 16-0, 15-1, or something like that. Or excuse me, 17-0 or 16-1. This is the game. This is the game. They're going to see if we can travel across the country and win a game against a team that's playing a little hot right now.
Is
If they
Jalen
do,
Ramsey
look
good?
out. Who?
Jalen Ramsey,
He's playing.
right?
I don't know. Why wouldn't he be playing?
I don't know. I thought he got like banged up.
Why? Who do you like in that game? Why you like? It's like
Because they have the high. That's like one of the highest.
but the
like,
problem with the
totals.
Bucks is like, who do you take from the Bucks? He spreads the ball out. It's hard to take one person.
Totally, you would
I'm
just
talking
take
from a
Tom
fantasy
Brady.
point of view. If you're just betting on the game, fine, you take
That's
the
what I'm
Bucks.
saying. Brady and then Gronk for like tight end. But yeah, like receivers, you take Godwin or Evans. But it is hard because
I love the Brady pick only because he's such an egotistical motherfucker, and he's trying to get like 50-something touchdowns. So even when he's on like the goal line, he used to like QB sneak in. He won't even do that anymore.
But the
He
Rams
just-
are
He
good,
just wants to throw
have
it
a
so he
good
can get the
defense
record. So he's
against-
always going to be throwing the ball, and I think Brady's a great pick this year, every game, because he's already won the Super Bowls. Now he don't want to like get all the personal records.
He doesn't really run though.
No, that's what I mean. He used to though. He used to goal line sneak a lot. You know, he'd get in there. But now that doesn't count as a throwing touchdown. He wants to beat Manning, so he's always going to be throwing the ball. It's a good fantasy pick the whole year. I don't think he'd go wrong.
All right. And then, well, what about like the Rams? Everybody, Cooper Kupp.
I mean, I still like Stafford. I think he'll go out there and throw it around. But Cooper Kupp, I don't know.
Everybody, it's
Because everybody thinks it's going to be a shootout.
right.
But people forget that the Bucs have a great defense.
Great defense.
And everybody thinks, oh, it's Brady versus Stafford. It's going to be this, that. Might not be.
Right.
I literally think the final score of this game could be like 38-10 Bucs. Like, they might kick the shit out of them.
Woods. Higbee. No. All right.
Nah, I don't take people from that
What
game.
about your favorite, Henderson?
He's questionable.
Oh.
Which is quite, but he'll probably play, but they said he's questionable. Rib injury. Ribs. What a bad. Hurt your
You had a
ribs.
rib injury for a while. Ugh.
We won't get into that.
All right, and Jags Cardinals.
Um,
Basically, just play Kyler Murray.
I was going to say, Kyler Murray is becoming that guy that you almost like a guaranteed 30, 35 fantasy points every week. He's playing like schoolyard ball. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, but
He's
Hopkins is
really
questionable.
Good. I tell you who I do like in that game.
Who?
AJ Green.
I like that too.
He's starting to get comfortable. I mean, the guy.
You know,
literally
everybody's
had, like,
focused on Moore.
Yeah.
I do like AJ
He
Green.
finally realized he's like playing football again. He was on the Bengals for like 10 years, like, fucking Andy Dalton thrown
Yeah.
to you. Who, now he's finally like in a real situation. I think it's coming back to him. And I think he's going to have a big game, AJ Green.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time you've actually said something that I
Agreed
like.
on it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Kyler Murray, AJ Green.
James Conner?
Who's the other guy? Kirk. What's his name?
Kirk. I do like Kirk.
James Conner. No, I would never take that motherfucker again. He never does anything. I took him last week, and he didn't do shit for me. And they were playing like the worst team in the world. So James Conner, unfortunately, I love you, but like I can't.
You don't love James Conner.
I do. I liked him. He was a Steeler. He was an ex-Steeler. He was good. He plays great. I love the guy. He just can't play fan. He's just not the guy. I don't know what happened to him.
So he got injured.
Nah, but he's just
Every
like
time.
not the same. I don't know.
Yeah. Anything to say about the Jags?
It's like playing. Did you see what's his name? That bitch coach. It's like playing Alabama every week.
Oh.
Like this guy. This is why these coaches from college can't come to the NFL. Like he's literally like beating the shit out of St. Mary's for the Blind and all these people. And then he comes to like the NFL and he expects like to have like rollover games every week. And he's like, oh wow, it's so hard coaching in the NFL. It's like playing. Of course it is.
How do you think Trevor Lawrence feels?
Dude, gotta get a haircut. Gotta get a haircut. That's it. That's all there is to it.
California, buddy.
He's got to get a haircut. You can't stand around 10 other men in a huddle and have them have all respect you.
He's a
with that hair.
captain.
I know. Yeah, he's him and 7 other people, right? Him, the punter. Right? They have like 7 captains on the team. How do you have 7 captains on a team? It's so ridiculous.
It's a lot of leadership.
Yeah.
What other things look interesting? Oh, I mean, just to talk about, I guess the Bills versus the football team, just because Josh Allen and Diggs is like one of those.
I think
I think Josh Allen's going to be the top rostered.
I think that's another game
quarterback.
where you take like the alternate line, like the Bills minus 20. I think they're going to kick the shit out of the Redskins. Because the Washington football's team. They're they've they haven't had the start to the season that they expected, and now it's like the perfect scenario. Now they're playing like a shit ass team, and they have to let it loose. So I like Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
I like Diggs. I think it's gonna be a.
What about Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders? Because if you want to do, you could do an entire
He was an
lineup.
ex-Steeler too.
You could do an entire lineup of just like taking AJ Green, Sanders.
You could do a lot of that. I don't know about Sanders only because I think the Bills are just gonna come at them with their best players. It's gonna be like Diggs,
Beasley.
Yeah, they're just gonna I think Washington very overrated this year. People.
Well,
granted,
Fitzpatrick's
yes.
out.
People are always like, oh, they have such a good defense. They have such a good. Nah, it doesn't look that good. And I think the Bills. This is like the perfect game for the Bills. Like the season didn't start the way they wanted. Steelers kicked the shit out of them at home, and now they're gonna This is the game. This is the game that they get. It's like their coming out party. It's gonna be a blowout, another blowout.
I agree. I like it. You want to talk about your Steelers? Steelers Bengals.
I don't know what. Everybody's injured on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like
everybody.
Deontay Johnson.
Is Roethlisberger?
He's gonna play. Is what it says, but Tomlin's got to go. But I'm a Steelers fan. But that's a whole other thing. They need me. But he'll go when Roethlisberger goes. I think they'll go together because Roethlisberger's probably his last year.
Why?
He's got a prison sentence. He's They just stink though. They're not.
You know who I love on the Bengals, and I like the Chase, because they got that whole college football connection thing. He's playing really well.
I like Mixon.
All right.
Steelers they're not playing the way they should play. They're not playing like smart.
I might do one a Burrow. Well, you can't take Burrow.
You can't take anybody on the Bengals, really. Who?
I like Chase.
It's hard to take anybody on the Bengals. You're taking a Bengal.
They're better than they were.
I mean, I don't know.
Or Tyler Boyd.
See, that game, fantasy-wise, would be, I think I'm avoiding that game 100%.
I mean,
If I had
there's
to
not
take
like
somebody,
a major reason
I
to
would
target
take,
him.
I would take Washington from the Steelers. James Washington, if you need a cheapie. If you need a cheapie, because you don't know if Juju is going to play, and you don't know if Deontay's going to play. You got James Washington, air it out, Roethlisberger. That's their thing, and he's going to get a couple, a little bit more touches, I think, because they're so sketchy at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I would say LeBron, but he screwed me last year, so I'm never saying his name again until something happens.
I agree. I mean, yeah, it's not. But if you do, like, they have cheap I think Bengals wide receivers is the one that I would target.
Oh God, I mean, it's like another team, Bengals. I get what you're saying.
It's really tough to bet money on the Bengals.
Exactly.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Right.
Like when you have money to burn, sure, set it on fire. But Bengals, Jets, Browns, there's certain teams where it's tough to say, I'm going to bet my child's tuition on the Bengals.
I'm not talking about the whole team. I'm not even talking about the quarterback. I'm just saying, like, if they have cheap wide receivers that aren't the craziest thing isn't the craziest thing.
No, it's not. I mean, listen, you might get lucky with it. But I see that game being kind of low scoring, like Pitt, like trying to like grind out a win and get everybody healthy for next week. I don't see them like throwing the ball around. I don't know.
What do you still? Are you still all on Hines?
Yes.
On the Colts?
On the Colts, 100%. He's got 2 healthy ankles.
I told Jerry about Hines before the season. Before the season started,
and I drafted him in my league, and he's quietly getting like 7-8 fantasy points a game. But I think this week's going to be a lot bigger.
And I'm not taking Henry this week against the Colts on the Titans because they have a pass funnel defense.
The problem with Derrick Henry is like, what is he? He's going to get 50 points every week. It looks like he would. When you see him run, it's almost like he can't.
The matchup isn't great though for him.
No, it's not a great matchup. It's not a great
like,
matchup.
You know, obviously his price has gone up.
I actually like Julio Jones.
I love Julio Jones. That's who I am taking.
I could see that. I could see that working out this week.
I love Julio Jones. I want to do A.J. Green, Julio Jones, and Emmanuel Sanders.
Because if you're starting a game against Tennessee, what are you doing? You're playing to stop Derrick Henry. That's what your game plan has to be.
Well, the Colts just stop the run. They have a pass funnel defense. Throw.
The Colts have Carson Wentz. All right, they got a Philly reject.
Well, no, they actually have Eason.
He's not playing though. Brissett's playing, right?
Brissett. That's right. I keep forgetting that's Brissett.
Brissett's playing.
Maybe it's Strat, that rookie Strat and whatever.
They listen. The Colts are another team. They just unfortunately they suck.
Except for Hines.
Hines will have a good game because they got some guy quarterbacking and he doesn't know what So the running back's always your key in that situation. You know how I always do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would stay away from that game too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even want to watch that game. Like, who the fuck wants to see them play?
I'll probably take Julio Jones.
I would just see Carson Wentz get carted off the field. All those Philly fans cursing him out. They all hate him. And they
Do you remember what the Phillies did last year and how much?
The Eagles, excuse me,
that
not
was
the Phillies.
Phillies, right. I mixed up sports. I hated the Eagles. Jets, Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater is an interesting contrarian play to build up lineup.
I'm going to stick with my theory that certain teams need to be like in soccer, you need to be demoted and like whatever's regulated. Like the Jets should not be in the NFL right now. It's really the worst team I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that we're subject to having to watch them every week is torture. They won't even go to another game. You have to watch like this shit-ass Jet game. Oh, sorry, Jet fans. It's just the way it is. It's
hard enough to get people to watch us.
Yeah, it's but like they're literally watching Darnold go 3-0, and they got some Mormon loser who's like running around throwing it to me. Like they have no team whatsoever, And it's like every move they make is the worst move. They should never draft anybody. I don't know why they should trade every draft pick they have and just get a player that they know is going to be good. They can't draft anybody. They can't. They haven't made a good draft pick in 15 years?
They do look
that's
very
even
bad.
if you call Sanchez a good pick, because he did go to a couple of championship games. So you could give, but they haven't made a pick since him. They have nobody. No, it's the worst organization in the world. I feel so bad for Jet fans.
I do like the color green.
And they have new helmets, but no, they're just bad. It's just so disappointing to watch them
I'm sorry, Jerry.
suck.
Ravens Lions. Speaking of teams that are great.
Lamar Jackson's questionable, right?
Do you remember how I said that I wanted to go to dinner with the Lions?
I did.
Turns out it's a well-known thing. Williams got traded from the Packers, and what did he say? They take you to dinner,
Buy
feed
you
him good.
food. One man's treasure. What is it? One
man's trash is another man's treasure.
That was probably one of the best interviews I've ever seen in my life. I love that guy just for that interview.
All right, turns out I knew something about which team takes you to dinner.
There you go, the Lions.
Lions. They're going to get clobbered by the Ravens. What do you think? Actually, Lamar and Brown are
questionable, right?
questionable. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If Lamar plays, they're probably going to lose.
Who did the Lions play when they almost won?
The Niners and they got last week. They got destroyed. They played. I don't even know.
I think it was the Niners.
No, that was the first week. That was week 1 because that was my pick. I had them in the money line, but
All
they
right.
lost by 7-8 points.
Yeah. I forget who they played last week. Anyway, and Swift is questionable on Lions.
He killed me too. I had him in my lineup. I don't know why they don't use that guy.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't. I don't know what it is. I think it's Goff. I think he's stupid. I think that's his problem. 'Cause he's got a decent arm. He can throw the ball, but I think he's just stupid because there's something wrong with him. He gets worse. He started out great with the Rams, and he just got worse and worse every game. So it's almost like information overload, and his brain can't handle it. I think that's Goff's problem.
Yeah.
Maybe your problem too.
You know what? It actually is kind of. All right. I think just to run down for running back, I think I feel like I have to take Barkley. I'm taking Barkley, Hilaire,
I like Hilaire.
and depending on how Cook is doing.
I love Cook. I
But
love Cook.
if he's questionable, so
Every-
I might take Eckler.
Every running back's questionable. There's no,
Yeah.
if he plays Cook, I love Cook in this game. If he's healthy too.
What about Carson on the flip side? It's Cook or Carson.
It's not a
Cook,
bad
Carson,
pick.
or Eckler.
It's not a bad pick, Carson.
And oh my God, I think I'm gonna have to take Barkley. I feel like I got almost gagged saying it, but I
Yeah?
have to. Yeah, just because computers don't always have to be right, but sometimes.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
That's all right.
He just hasn't looked good. I mean, the Giants as a whole really haven't looked that good, but
Yeah, but the Falcons look worse.
the Falcons are terrible.
Contrarian wide receivers: Sanders, AJ Green.
AJ Green, I told you, I love that pick.
Yeah,
He's in my lineup no matter what. AJ Green this week.
yeah. Sanders, AJ Green, and
This is the first time in AJ Green's life that he's not the number one. People are doubling Thielen, and AJ Green's excuse me, not
Not
Thielen,
Thielen. Hopkins.
Hopkins, and he's there. And
Hopkins is questionable.
really,
So I said I like AJ Green a lot.
yeah, that's a good. I'm with the AJ Green pick this week.
All right, that's a good sleeper. I haven't heard anybody talk about him, so
Till now,
nobody's saying
me.
anything. And then I think you have to take Lockett or Metcalf.
One of them.
I'm
You
taking.
can't take both of them.
I think I'm taking. Well, yeah, of course you can't take.
Well, I'm
both
just
of them.
saying, no, Metcalf. Everybody's on Metcalf, but so Lockett might
They're
be the pick.
evenly priced.
I know.
Too, which is annoying. Quarterback. Who are you taking? Brady.
I mean,
I think you kind of have to play Murray.
to me, it would be Brady or Murray. Murray, the thing about Murray is obviously you get the rushing yards and you get a couple of rushing TDs. He might.
I do like I mean, I think Josh Allen is I think he's just going to be chalk. For cash lineups, I would take Josh.
Well, I think.
For pricing.
I think Josh Allen will have 28 points, 30 points. So is that worth it for the price you're paying for him?
I think he's at like 7,000.
He's going to have a good game. But once again, I think they're going to beat the Redskins so bad that it's almost like a 3-quarter game. The last quarter is going to be, a wash.
Let's see. Allen 7,000. God, I'm so good at this.
What, remembering things?
No, I didn't even see. I guessed.
Good guess.
Thank you. And everybody's talking about taking Herbert.
Yeah, I'm not on that.
Yeah.
I'm not on that at all.
Bridgewater would be crazy.
I tell you what, man.
They're playing
you got to love Teddy Bridgewater.
And they're playing at home.
I never really like to interject with you guys because your chemistry is just so unbelievable. This is the voice of the Wizard of Oz. So this is Danny in studio. I love Teddy B, right? I've always loved Teddy B since college.
Right? But
the thing is, it kind of caught me deep because I got Herbert on my fantasy team this year, and you were like, no, fuck him. I'm not sold. And I was like, no big deal, Danny. Don't cry.
No,
Don't cry.
I think he's going to have a great week this week. I do think he's going to
Thanks, Kate. Thank you. Thanks. That was as close to a hug as I could get in fantasy sports.
That is literally like, thanks for
guys.
trying out. Keep the jersey.
Your walk's as good as a hit, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. Herbert, not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick. What? I'm sticking with Gronk for tight end.
All right.
You could take Bridgewater and Fant.
I like Bridgewater. I wouldn't take him in fantasy just because he's not, he's
playing the Jets.
But he's somewhat of a game manager at this point. Well, he's going to win the game. That's obvious. But, they'll slow it down. They'll maybe take him out. They're not going to blow the Jets out. I don't know. It almost becomes embarrassing after a while. Unless, the NFL's got a thing going on, who could blow the Jets out the worst. That could be, a little thing.
I bet they do have an insider bet.
Right?
Yeah. I would.
Have you guys covered all the games?
The ones that we care about, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've got a few minutes left in the show. Let's do, somewhat of a lightning round here where...
and I got to give you my bailout bet.
Right. So we're gonna do Kate's fire bets, so to speak, right? Because with this daily fantasy sports, you've got these lineups that they make where you get a guy that goes 1.5 times, you pick your MVP for the lineup, and that can oftentimes be the difference maker in making money. So when talking about impact players, let's try and do a little lightning round. I guess which one of you guys wants to go first?
For what impact?
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, your segment is simply titled Jerry's Get Out of Jail Free Card.
Hey, I was 2 for 3 last time. 3 dogs, and here's my next 3 dog. I'll give you my 3 dogs right now. Parlay, 3 teams. You're going to go with the Saints. Saints, you're getting right now plus 130. New England thinks they're good. They won a game. Mac Jones, everybody's like, oh, Mac Jones is good. And they played the Jets. So, you get that high. It's good for his confidence. But I think this is the week the Saints, Jameis Winston literally, his job is right now, right here. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's not going to have a job. I think this week you go with the Saints plus 130. My other bet is the Chargers plus 263. Like I said, I think KC is overrated. I think the Chargers come out and they stick it to him a little bit. And the last one is the Bears plus 263 as well. I think Josh Fields in the game.
Justin Fields.
I think the team wants him as the quarterback, obviously. So he's gonna be the man. So you take 130 on the Saints, Chargers 263, Bears 263. That's $100 to win 3,000. We got a 30 to 1 parlay. But what I'll say is, not only do the 3 teams, you got to put them in 2s, because that way you cover yourself even if you get 2 out of 3. Because I'm guaranteed 2 out of 3, obviously from the last time.
Well, you heard it here, folks. There's your bet the farm. Take your kids' tuition out from underneath the mattress.
Oh, I feel so uncomfortable.
And make sure you just bet it all. And right now, of course, we're going to go to Kate for her fire picks. Kate, you ready to rock?
Sure.
I like that. Rattle it off.
Let's hear it.
I am taking AJ Green based on our previous discussion. I do like him at wide receiver as a sneaky one. I haven't heard anybody blow him up yet, so that's good. Everybody's talking about Barkley. I just feel like you kind of have to. I don't know. The model's saying whatever. It's like one of those ones that you just feel awful doing, but
The only reason to take Barkley is because we're like, we have to watch that game, and you might want to have somebody in the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't take anybody from that game.
sure. Correct. And Julio Jones on the Titans.
I like that pick.
That's my other
I
wide
like
receiver.
that pick.
Big pick.
But that's an expensive pick.
Yeah, it's moderate. It's not like crazy. He's not Julio Jones on the Falcons prices. Because they have AJ Brown. They have a lot of other receivers. You know what I mean?
You know, every time I pay a lot for somebody, I get burnt. Like Thursday night, I had McCaffrey. Bitch went out in the first quarter and they got like 6 points.
I
know. And
that's why I think Barkley actually could, because McCaffrey went to, you know what I mean? Just like the universal logics of DFS. If McCaffrey's out, then Barkley.
That is a
that one,
fire
you know what I
pick
mean?
if I have ever heard one. Everybody on earth is saying, sit
Universal
Barkley.
logic.
And she's like, start him, baby. That's what we call fire picks here at Unforced Errors. That's a hell of a job.
Oh, man. I hope nobody bets more than $20.
Bet with caution. Please.
Saints, Chargers, Bears, money line, 30-1. Can't lose. I already put it in. It's already in. It's a lock.
Lock.
It's got to be. I hope so.
My lock is, the obvious one, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you can't not take them.
How much more time do we have to waste?
No, you guys are done. I don't think anybody cares anyway. But you had a hell of a show.
Nobody cares.
I mean, you have Jerry's get out of jail free card, and he gave 3 picks, right? That's what we call a parlay.
3-team parlay.
That's a 3-team parlay. Bet the kids' tuition. And Kate's fire pick, I think, is what we took from it mostly is that what the universe says, just go completely against, right? And that's basically fantasy sports.
One person's trash is another man's trash.
That's exactly what my ex-girlfriend said.
Taking me out for dinner, they're buying me drinks.
Feed me good.
All right, give your shout-outs, guys.
You can find me on Instagram at Scotch the Cat.
You can find me on my couch.
I like
At
that.
1:30, mad that he missed lock. Trying to get the internet.
The fact that you got into my apartment building this morning and somehow banged at my door, I don't even know how you got in there.
where there's a will, there's a way, Jerry. I was not coming to Staten Island solo.
Good job, though. Good job.
Thanks. Follow us on Instagram for Sunday morning, Sunday at 12:45.
Oh, by the way, wait.
Yeah.
Last
You
minute.
got to be right in on it, like
Do we have a
glued
minute
to
left?
the ticker.
Who won the dog thing? Did the dog win or the other one?
They tied.
They tied?
Yeah.
They have to do it again.
The dog's
Yeah.
got to pick again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get that. We'll put that up.
All right.
So they definitely pick better than the bookie. So. All right. Well, listen, this has been another fantastic episode of the Unforced Errors podcast. Right? Absolutely. Nobody cares. We'll be back as usually scheduled. What?
The first week of October 6th. Is that a Wednesday?
You're the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's October. It's not even October.
Because we're off next Wednesday.
Yeah.
You idiot, Jared.
Well, until then, make sure you follow them on Instagram, Unforced Errors, for anything you've missed. Check them out on YouTube. They have their own playlist on the Nobody Cares Sports Network, Unforced Errors podcast. Jerry McKenna, Kate Herman. Peace out, everybody. Good luck on your picks.
31.
Nobody cares.
30-1 on that parlay. Do not forget that.